One person you admire the most and why?
Her name is Dr. Catherine Tinkham. She is our first physician-in-chief at UHN ever. And I admire her because A, she is so kind and is so smart and has this ability to figure out complex problems to be a win-win. Like, she is such an integrated thinker.
Your first job?
Oh, it's so Chinese of me. I was a piano teacher. So I took Royal Conservatory, made it all the way to grade 10, just grinded it out in piano practice and used it to make, I think, $8 an hour, teaching other little Chinese kids how to play piano. And I don't even like piano. Like, this is a demonstration of, doing what's expected of you versus finding the joy within. I like piano. I have a piano now at home that I never even touch. And my mother constantly tells me, like, why aren't you playing piano? It's like, because I hate it.
Your top 3 values?
Being honest. And so even in difficult conversations, being honest but kind is super important. My family is super important. And so family values and putting your family first is right up there. And then lastly, I got to throw it in there just because it's in me. It's like, work hard. It's the diligence and do everything you can to prepare, put your best foot forward, just do your best.
The best advice you ever got?
Catherine, you can have it all, but you may have to pay for it. And so I'm super privileged that I make enough money that I can hire a nanny. And it used to guilt me to no end that I was, contracting out my motherly responsibilities. But honestly, it allowed me the time in order to pursue things that reward me. I think it's made me a better mother. It's not a profound piece of advice, but such a practical advice that just made such a big difference in how I managed to balance everything and allowed me to have personal rewards for myself and not just pour everything into my kids.
What's the most important advice you would share with your children?
To know yourself really well and to find the things that bring you joy. But that is polar opposite to what I feel like I should be saying as a tiger mother of, like, work hard and be prepared in life. But I would say it's probably both. It's like, work hard and be prepared in life, and also know yourself really well, and know what your strengths are. Feel comfortable, feel uncomfortable, and find the joy in your life.
The biggest risk you've ever taken?
I'm not a risk taker in general, but I would say I think I've been applying for jobs, and it's not that risky, but it's putting yourself out there. So every single job I've ever applied for, I've been deeply unqualified for. And in a way now I look back and I think about how naive I am. And sometimes, some of the things that I leap into at work still, it's not bravery, because some people say you're brave. And I was like, it's not really bravery. It's more about being naive. And so I would say leaning in and setting yourself up for either success or potentially massive failure is probably what I'm proud of in terms of my risk taking. There's lots of opportunities where I could fall flat on my face. And, to this day, I sometimes wonder, how is it that I got some of the jobs that I got? And this is where I say, I've worked hard, but a lot of it had to do with luck and just being the right place at the right time. But leaning in is probably the biggest risks I've taken. And I know certain points in my career where I have taken those risks. They've all paid off. There's been a couple of situations where it was very dicey, but knock on wood, with the luck and hard work, they seem to have paid off.
Your wildest aspiration?
I don't allow myself to really be that out of the box of a thinker. I mean, my wildest aspiration is probably, it has nothing even to do with healthcare. I'd like to think that I'm going to end up retiring at a young enough age where I will have a second career. And that's actually what I've been thinking about, is what can I do next? Because my kids are at an age where, they've only got a few more years with me, and pretty soon they're going to be doing their own thing. And I've loved my time in healthcare, but I can't see doing this for years more. And so I'm starting to think about, what am I going to do after this? And I don't know yet. I've got thoughts around a bakery, which is ridiculous because I'm not that good a baker. I have thoughts around coaching, but including full package coaching around being your authentic self, and even the whole rolling in the fashion piece, but I don't know. Like, it's actually an interesting question that I've been asking myself. What is my next big aspiration?
I love it. And it's funny because as you mentioned, the coaching, so when I coach, this is my hope for the future, is where coaching is not only at the business level, like, corporate stuff, but the whole person. So involving everything.
100%. Pursue it, and then I can be your associate someday if you think I'm qualified to do it.